Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I hope you're doing well. I'm a crazy woman as usual. I mean, crazily blessed, right? Crazy in the sense that it is well after midnight and I'm still doing my video. Well, you know what? I love my JBV community. That's Jules Blessed Vegan, in case you didn't put it together. And I'm happy to be sharing. All right, so I wanted to talk about what to do before that first compulsive bite. You know, that's what it is. It's so interesting. I remember learning where they said that really the taste, like the full-blown taste of anything, is the first bite. And that every bite after that just becomes less and less, right? And so that allows some people to take a bite and be content. Those are the people I call normies, okay? If you're blessed enough to be a normal eater who can just take a bite of something luscious and leave it at that, okay, first of all, you freaked me out. And second, congratulations, that's not me. So yes, I was totally unplanned today. I'm so happy, and I've been very happy and doing all the things. But my husband loves his little treats and stuff, right? And so he'll often say, well, why don't you just have one? You know, why don't you just take one bite? Like, come on, like maybe that will satiate me, solve the problem, ease my life, whatever. He could not be more mistaken. Okay, like for all of my life, anytime I've had the grace to pretend to eat like a normie in front of people, I'm more than made up for it in the dark. Trust me on that. So I'm like really blessed to be able to say, yeah, that's a no. That is a no, a hard no. All right. So anyway, this is a great article before you take that first bite. And it's actually from Overeaters Anonymous, though it comes from Food Addicts Anonymous, but all the Anonymouses stem from the AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, where they just replaced all things alcohol with whatever it is, food, sex addiction, gambling, whatever it is. So this definitely comes from there. And of course, I'll include it in the description of the video. So it says, before you take that first bite, read this pamphlet to remember that you have a choice. You know, we always have a choice. It's just sometimes after that first bite, with the chemical infusion and the insanity that just hits every cell, the choice lessens because you get into the craziness, right? And by you, I mean me. Okay. So yeah, this Anonymous happens to be Food Addicts and Recovery Anonymous, which offers a solution for all forms of food addiction, because it's really all comes down to control. So whether you're an anorexic, trying to control how little food you eat, a bulimic, trying to control what food you eliminate from your body, or a compulsive overeater, it all stems from the same thing, okay? So many people are finding recovery in FA from obesity, undereating, bulimia, and obsession with food. There are no dues or fees, la, la, la. So honestly, this comes straight from the 12 steps. And I'm not familiar with this exact one, but all the content is the same, okay? So it says you do initially have a choice. You do not have to deviate from your committed food plan. Do not be afraid of cravings you may have for foods you used to eat, or of feelings of anger, fatigue, or confusion. When you first stop eating addictively, all of us have such feelings. They will pass. Read this pamphlet. It'll help you take the actions and to remember that you can remain abstinent no matter what if you take the action. So first of all, use the Serenity Prayer. So again, no doubt, this is from the 12 steps. If you're anxious or upset, slow down. Easy does it. Pray. Ask your higher power for help. And remember, a higher power could be a pet rock. It's anything outside your own power, because obviously relying on yourself hasn't worked. So anything outside of yourself. It can be a group. It could be an individual. It could be God. Certainly God of the universe for me. To help accept the things you cannot change, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The short version is, I can't, God can, and I'm going to let him. Say the prayer until your upset feelings pass. It's one way. Number 2, remember that feelings are not facts. Oh, is that brilliant? Feelings are not facts. No matter how you may be feeling, you do not have to eat. The cravings you have now will pass, and you will soon be glad that you did not eat. Remember, remind yourself of how grateful you were to wake up abstinent this morning. These feelings of discomfort are temporary. Oh, so beautiful to remember that. It's interesting because when I eat the way I prefer, which is raw vegan, no matter what I eat or how much, and Lord knows my bowls of salad and things look like enough for a small country, there is no discomfort. There's no backup. There's no, bloating. There's no gassy feeling of discomfort. I lay in bed and go, what is that? Oh, an empty stomach. And it's okay. What? Yeah, it's pretty brilliant. I'm happy to experience it. Think it through to the end. Instead of allowing yourself to fantasize, this is the problem. Like, shut that down right away. Don't spend a bunch of time in that, Instead of allowing yourself to fantasize about the supposed pleasures of eating, stop and think. Where has food taken you every time you picked it up in the past? Remember the morning after, the bloat, fatigue, nausea, aching, lying or stealing in order to get food, and then going to any length in order to be alone to eat it. The pain of struggling to fit into your clothes, waking up with those awful feelings of shame and hopelessness. Oh my gosh, can anyone relate? I majored in all of that. No wonder it feels like home. Practice an attitude of gratitude for your abstinence. And remember, abstaining just means to not engage in whatever doesn't serve you. Think again and again of the benefits of abstinence and what it gives to you. Freedom from shame and guilt about your eating, structure to each day and each meal, freedom from ever having to diet again, hope for the new life that is now possible for you. In the 12-step programs and in Overeaters Anonymous, they don't give you a diet plan. You choose what works for you. And I have found initially plant-based and most certainly raw vegan works best for me. It gives me as much food as I want within my plan. It satiates me. It's healthy for my body. It's healing my ailments. It is brilliant. And as long as I don't trigger myself by eating food-like products, right, or vegan junk food or whatever, I'm safe and content in that moment. So I absolutely love it. But yeah, I've said many times, the reason I have to abstain and refrain is because every sin for me revolves around my actions in food, from lying to stealing to hiding to gluttony to, like every bit of it, misspending money, like all of it. That first compulsive bite can put me down the rabbit hole, right? Okay, let the program carry you. Lean on the group to remind yourself that you're not alone. Now, this might be anything. Right now, I'm doing the Tanning Raw Reset, praise God. And that group of like-minded 70 or so people can be support for me. I'm in some other plant-based groups, some vegan groups online. There's so many, you can find one. If you need a Christian group, they have Christian OA meetings. If you need a non-God referencing group, they have, I can't think of what you guys are called, atheist 12-step program. Seriously. You can find your place. Are you willing to do the homework? Jump in, friends. The water's fine. Okay, hundreds of other people are just like you, and they are not eating. If they can be free from food, so can you. Look for a meeting to attend. That's what I do love about the 12-step programs. You can find a meeting 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. It may be in a different state. It may be in a different country. It may be a telephone call. It may be online. They totally exist. And I love that because you can catch yourself and get the support you need. Okay, the next one, make a telephone call. An outreach call inevitably not only helps you, but helps the person you're calling. If that person isn't game, find another. So it says call a member and ask for help. And I just mean anyone in your realm. In any group that you're in, you can say, hi, is there any outreach people in here? Is there any accountability partners? People will chime in. They are as hungry for health and as desperate for wellness as you are. Seriously. So ask the other person how they're doing. how they're doing it, maybe if they're living the lifestyle you want. We recommend that you make a practice of making several phone calls a day, whatever it takes. If you get to know others and let them get to know you, it'll be easier to reach for the phone when you need it. That's so true. You can't be bitter that you feel so alone and that no one cares when in fact you have never even shared your true self with anyone, right? Whenever I feel like my husband isn't getting it, I usually realize he can't get it because I haven't been straight up and he can't support me with things he doesn't know anything about, right? It's just the nature of the disease to want to hide. Another great tip is to remember that you only have to do it just for today or just for this moment. And for me, sometimes it's a millisecond, but sometimes refraining in that millisecond gets me to a full minute, and a full minute gets me to an hour, and an hour gets me to a day, right? And I remember with my very first sponsor in Overeaters Anonymous, God bless Thomas wherever he is on the planet, and because it's anonymous, I never even knew his last name. He used to always say, Juliana, you can eat whatever you want tomorrow. And I was like, I can? Awesome. Only to realize that tomorrow becomes today. And so tomorrow is always tomorrow. It was brilliant and kept me well for a really long time. So tell yourself that you can eat tomorrow if you want to, but not today. Remember that we live one day at a time, just 24 hours a day. You can do it today. Okay, remember the power behind you is always greater than the problem in front of you. Amen. Practice faith and trust. Remind yourself that if you got through yesterday without eating, you can surely get through this moment and this day. You're not eating now. You've already experienced a miracle. Get out of your way. Let go. Trust the program, support group, whatever. I used to always say to myself, I have been abstinent all day. Your alarm went off 4 minutes ago. I know, but for all 4 minutes. And I would just let that keep building. It was brilliant. Okay, remember that you are not alone and that we do service by staying abstinent. Yeah, people will say, you're vegan? How come you're fat? Right? There's this image that all vegans are thin. What they don't know is how much fatter I was before. I can't presume anyone isn't in progress one way or the other and that they have a backstory. Oh my gosh, never ask a woman if she's pregnant, please. If she hasn't done a reveal, let it go. Yeah, I remember a lady on the bus. I remember saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for December. And she said, why, are you pregnant? I was like 22. And I was like, no, it's my birthday. And then I thought, oh, I look pregnant? Yeah, another talk for another day. Okay, remember that you're not alone. And seriously, by being abstinent, you're doing service. You're not part of the fellowship of people just like yourself. You are now part of it, just like yourself. By abstaining, you can receive help and you can give help too. And there's so many ways to give service. Just being present, just listening, just showing up is giving service, right? Okay, halt. And remember, look this up. Go up to my search and put in HALT under JulesBlessedVegan search. HALT is so fantastic. It's one of the greatest tools by far that I got from the 12-step program. And it's to just halt, to stop a moment and ask yourself, what is this? What's causing this rage? Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And I've added an S because sometimes it's fear. I'm scared. I have an S for scared. I have an S for sick, when I feel sick and vulnerable and want to seek comfort food, which never is. I did add that S. Be gentle with yourself. Be sure to eat each of your meals on time, not too early, not too late. Yeah, so don't get yourself into binge mode because you neglected, right? If you are feeling fatigued or sick, get some rest, take a nap, or plan to go to bed early. Make a phone call or write about whatever it is that might be upsetting you, but why eat over it? Which is just compounding the problem, let's be fair. Okay, and take action. OA is a program of action. Do something that is the opposite of eating. Leave the kitchen. Take a bath or a walk. Make a list of all the things you're grateful for. Read a book. Give the OA program a chance to work, whatever it is. Again, whatever your support group is, whether you're in Forks Over Knife, whether you're in the plant-based support group, whether you're in the Raw Reset, whatever you're doing. If you're a 12-stepper, fabulous. Give it a chance. You were sick for a really, really long time. Why do you suddenly think it'll be resolved in a couple of weeks or even a couple of months? And in some cases, years. One day at a time, they will add up. Okay, the obsession will remain if you allow yourself to stay focused on it. What you focus on grows, right? When you do your 1%, the program, the group, the support, your food plan can do the rest. And that is so true. You know, I kind of know to expect every single day I'm going to be tempted. Every single day there's going to be some weird, funky craving or something. And I'm getting better at sitting through it. And it does subside. Okay, and finally, don't eat no matter what. And I love this one because I know if you decide to just not, like if you're going to take that first compulsive bite, there's a chance you're going to eat something you don't want to. So if you just say, you know what, I'm going to drink water, get tea, I'm going to take that walk, and I'll try and eat later when I'm much calmer and in a better headspace. You know, no one's going to starve in a day. I pray that's not your story. Okay, so don't eat no matter what. There's always help. There's always hope. Reach out. You are not alone anymore. Okay, and then of course it lists the 12 steps, and let's just go back. We admitted we were powerless over food and that our lives had become unmanageable. Number 1, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. So again, those are just those first 3. I can't, God can, and I'm going to let him. You might want to try that. All right, my friends, I hope that helps you out. Why did I bring it up? Again, because after my husband offered me just 1 bite, what's the big deal? You deserve it. Deserve it. Oh, I'm so sorry we're in a society that thinks eating toxic waste is a treat to us. After he did that and I declined, I was in the kitchen doing the dishes and and obsessing about it. And I thought, you know what? I got to get in there and make a video and remind myself how to abstain from that first compulsive bite. And praise God, here I am doing it. All right, so before you take that first bite, let's just do it one more time. Use the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Remember that feelings are not facts. Yeah, I feel that way, but it's not a fact. I get haunted by old baggage. I'll think it through to the end. How will I feel after this meal? Practice an attitude of gratitude. How grateful are you to be clean? How grateful were you when you were clean? Like, get into that mindset. How did it serve you? Let the program, meaning whatever support is around you, carry you. You know, think about that Footprints poem where the guy's thinking he's alone and he's like, Jesus, what's up, man? You ditched me when I needed you. And Jesus was like, are you kidding me right now? I was carrying you. Let a group carry you. Sometimes we just have to rest, right? We just have to rest a moment. And it's okay. Just find a safe place and do it. All right, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. Does any of this ring true for you? And until we talk again, best of all, know that you're blessed.